Hey everyone, this is Tom from Cerulean Bay, and today we are going to be talking about what you can do when you've got a lot of leaf drop and flower drop in your yard, but they are coming from trees and bushes that are not yours. So while there is a lot of content out there about what you can plant and not plant, or what you should plant and not plant in your yard to keep the leaf drop out of pools, here we have an issue in our yard where we have very little that produces any leaf drop. We lost quite a bit in the freeze back in 2021, but today, as you can see behind me, we have a lot of trees and bushes which belong to my neighbor. And at this time of year, they are absolutely beautiful. But what happens with the pool when there's all that flower drop that comes from these crepe myrtles, and then the leaf drop in the fall and things that come out in the spring? So this is the yard and the pool, and then just looking up here, it's absolutely beautiful what we have growing on the other side of the fence. So my neighbor has 4 crepe myrtles there. They're absolutely huge and they bloom in white. Then there's a very large oak tree behind that. And he's got a magnolia tree, which is desperately trying to find some sun there. And then some photinia bushes along the fence, which to our surprise did not freeze when we had the big freeze in 2021. These bushes down here, which you see at fence level or just below, all used to be as tall as that bush in the middle. And these are viburnums, and they have survived ice storms. They've survived basically 20 years of weather here in Houston. But then in 2021, they all froze down to the ground. They're just now starting to come back here. And yeah, you couldn't even see our neighbors' houses over there. It was just like a big wall of greenery. And our neighbor 2 houses down, who we absolutely love, she's got a beautiful white oak. Half of those leaves end up in my pool in the fall. But yeah, so this is just giving you what our yard looks like in mid-May. And we're actually going to chronicle this as we move throughout the year. So when we get into the summer, when these crepe myrtles are in full bloom, and it is literally snowing in our yard, we will capture that. We'll come back out here in the fall and you'll see the leaf drop that occurs. And then in the spring, oak trees, which basically lose their leaves just as they're gaining new ones in March and April. They are considered to be an evergreen, but yeah, that thing back there can really pump out the leaves and the pollen. So this episode is really going to be about what you can do when you've got trees and bushes that are out of your control. And the highlight of this particular episode is going to be this little thing here you see in the pool. So this is a BETTA pool skimmer, and we have named her Blanche. I'm not quite sure why. When we found her on Amazon, she is available in either white or blue. And we didn't want to go with the blue because here in Houston, the sun is very strong and anything that's colored will definitely fade. So we went with the white one and called her Blanche. But that's what she does, is she cruises around. And right now the pool is looking pretty clean because I already took care of that. But when you are getting a lot of leaf drop in there, the skimmer that is over there on the left side and this one that is down here cannot keep up with the constant intake of flowers and leaves and everything else. And as all of these beautiful trees and bushes have grown taller and taller every year, it is all that much more that they put out. So we will be doing a product review for this BETTA pool skimmer, which was referred to us by a friend of ours. And it turned out to be one of the best things we bought for the yard. It is available on Amazon for a few $100s. It is totally worth it. And it helps to keep the surface of the pool clean. If you're wondering why there's some piping that's sticking out of the pool skimmers here, it is something that we had to create because when Blanche gets up against the pool skimmers, she'll park there because the suction just kind of keeps her there. So I got some PVC piping. It's just cut to fit. It's not even glued together. And it kind of acts as a bumper to keep her away from the pool skimmers because otherwise she just gets stuck there. But getting back to these bushes, again, this is one of the big crepe myrtles here. I just wanted to show you guys what we do every springtime. This is when we come back here. I'm going to go behind our garage. And so you can see we actually do our best to cut everything back pretty much at the fence line. This is the edge of our garage line here, and it can literally get covered back here. And then as you walk back out towards the yard, you can just see how much it overhangs into the yard. We do have to cut it because it's just a mess with all of the leaf drop and the flowers. So we will go ahead and chronicle this as these things start to bloom, and you can just see what happens then with the pool. And in June, it'll literally be snowing back here with those flowers. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what the yard looks like when you have plants that are basically out of your control. You've got trees and all kinds of beautiful greenery that happen to belong to your neighbors, but what do you do when it's getting into your pool? And we, for years, as these things grew behind us, because when we moved into this house 20 years ago, everything you see behind me there was very small. And here's a quick pic from 2004 where you can see my neighbor's yard behind me, and he had a bunch of beautiful red oleander there, which for some reason he chose to take out, but everything else is pretty much non-existent. And my boys here, who are very, very young, are all pushing 30 today. So that gives you a bit of a timeline about how long it can take some trees and plants to grow. Now it's absolutely giant, and it's too much to keep up with on our own. So thank God for Blanche. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will come back with a product review on Blanche. We're going to sit down and take a look at her. So we hope you are going to find that useful. And now I am being yelled at by one of the squirrels on the fence. I think he's telling me to leave. So we're going to go ahead and end this for you today right here, but we will be back again soon. Thanks so much for joining us here at Tropical Escapes at Home.